A man stabs another man during the which came first, the chicken or the egg debate. An Australian hockey star amputated his finger to play in the Olympics. And an unseasoned chicken leads to a brawl and arrest. These are the weird stories for Thursday on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast. I'm your host, Jonesy. You are you, and I'm proud of you. A man in Indonesia stabs another man to death over the debate on whether the chicken or the egg came first. And today I learned that Indonesia is the Florida of Southeast Asia. We have here a man sadly fatally stabbed. Another man stabbed him following a heated debate over whether the chicken or the egg came first. I mean, everybody knows eggs have definitely predated chickens for hundreds of millions of years. Dinosaurs had eggs, and the first seafaring creatures had eggs. I'll stab you! I think that's how that went down. And technically, if you really want to get nerdy, the amoeba predates both the chicken and the egg. I'll stab you! I'll stab you, man! I guess this guy's a little unstable. Let's keep reading, though. Maybe he has a good reason. I want to know what side he's on, too. Let's find out what side he's on. This sad incident occurred in a village in South Sulawesi, Indonesia. The perpetrator, identified by the initials DR, attacked 47-year-old Kadir Marcus during the argument. The two men had been drinking when the incident occurred. So they're just some drunk buddies. They decided to go down that road of philosophy. They tell you there's certain things you do not discuss, like politics. Definitely not whether or not the chicken before the egg before the chicken. The two men did not know each other before, though, so they met at this drinking spot. As they drank, they began joking and exchanging riddles. All right, so it's drinking and riddles. Not a lot going on in Sulawesi. They got into the classic debate over whether the chicken or the egg came first. However, the perpetrator got very emotional and left the gathering to get a sharp weapon at home. Says when he returned, DR brutally stabbed Kadir Marcus 15 times. They stated that the victim sadly died right on the spot. Residents who witnessed the stabbing rushed Kadir Marcus to the hospital. His life could not be saved. There's still a lot of information left out of this article. For instance, what side was the perpetrator on? The chicken or the egg side? What were they drinking down there? What sort of Sulawesi backwoods moonshine get you to stab somebody over the old philosophical discussion about the chicken-egg thing, which up until now I had no idea that people were so passionate about. The question ultimately comes down to whether you believe in evolution, the egg came first, or intelligent design, the chicken came first. I'll stab you! The issue goes even further. If you were to ask biologists, I'm sure they would talk about a missing link. Like, where's the exact moment that the non-chicken becomes a chicken? That's if you believe in the evolutionary theory of the chicken before the egg. I'll stab you! Well, at the end of the day, this gentleman died for what he believed in, and they say that's a very noble way to go out. I feel bad for the victim. I mean, to get eggs executed over something like this is just, it's a foul way to end your life, you know. The other philosophical question that we can address here is, why did the chicken cross the road? And clearly it's to get away from the stabber. I'll stab you! Because someone yelled, I'll stab you! An Olympic hockey star has his finger amputated in order to be able to play in Paris. Well, I mean, it's no big deal. Fingers grow back anyways. Everybody knows that. Come on now. We have Australian hockey star Matt Dawson. He has opened up about his decision to have part of his finger amputated in order to appear for his country at the upcoming Paris Olympics. This guy's dedicated to the sport, wants to appear in the Paris Olympics, participating, representing Australia. Or he heard about all that raunchy sex that goes on in the Olympic Village, and he was like, I'd be crazy not to attend this event. What's it going to take? Cut off part of my finger? Sure. It says, having already appeared for the nation at the Games on 2 previous occasions? What am I saying? The NSW Waratahs defender, the NSW stands for, I don't know, I should probably look that up, but I don't feel like it. The name of the team is Waratahs. It's from Australia. That's all you need to know. He's a defender. That might or might not be important either. He was not willing to allow injuries to curtail his chances of heading to the French capital. The Kookaburras legend broke his finger just 2 weeks prior to the spectacle, leaving him with some significant calls to make. The Kookaburras legend, is that the name of the team that he's on? What is this? Is that the league? I'm going to tell you, this is very coincidental because my friend just opened up a comedy club in Hollywood called the Kookaburra Lounge. And all I know is it's a bird of some sort. There's a picture of the bird on the logo of her comedy club. So it's kind of coincidental that I'm now reading about the Kookaburra here. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of emails about this Kookaburra now. Some of you that listen to the show are in Australia. Maybe you like Kookaburra stew or something. Anyways, the phone lines are open. The field hockey star, by the way, it's field hockey. It's field hockey. I wasn't aware that men played field hockey on the professional level or in the Olympic level. That just shows you how naive I am about the Olympics. But they do. They play. It's a men's field hockey they're playing. This guy's a star. He formed part of the team that earned a silver medal as they reached the finals at the Tokyo Olympics back in 2021, but they lost out on the gold to Belgium, as you probably know. With the opportunity of appearing at the Olympics for a third time on the table for this guy, Dawson, the 146-time Australian international eventually decided to undergo an amputation of the affected part of his finger. He explained to the media how he agonized over the decision to undergo the procedure before opting to go under the knife. He said, quote, I made an informed decision with the plastic surgeon at the time, not only for the opportunity to play in Paris, but for life after as well. The best option for me was to take the top of me finger off. Top of me finger off. Oh, top of the finger to you. It's a bit of a change at the moment and an exciting challenge, I guess. There are plenty of other issues and other people going on with other stuff in their lives that are bigger than losing a finger. So I'm very fortunate that it's just a little bit of me finger. This guy's 30 years old. He knows what he wants in life. The window's closing when you're 30 years old. You can't keep appearing in the Olympics. So this is probably his last chance at gold. He decided to do it. Take the little piece of the finger off. Didn't Ronnie Lott do this? Hall of Fame safety for the 49ers. Ronnie Lott. Amazing man. One of the hardest hitting football players in history, apparently. Take your head off out there. Not fun to be a wide receiver playing when Ronnie Lott's out there. Okay, some details about why he was in this position. Apparently, Matt broke a digit on his right hand during team training in Perth about 2 weeks ago, and recovery from this surgery to repair it would have taken many months. So the 30-year-old decided to have the finger removed from the knuckle up in order to take part in his third games, which shocked his teammates and his coaches. The article goes on to say that the coach of the Kookaburras is praising him for his dedication, and Dawson had a discussion with his wife about it prior to. You get the gist of what would go on if you had to, have a digit removed. It was a big decision, so you just have a meeting with your loved ones and your coaches, and then everybody goes, yeah, man, cut it off. Just cut it off, man. You're 30 years old. This is your last chance to strike it rich at the Olympics. And then you go, yeah, sure, I'll cut it off. What's my insurance policy? How does this all work? So praise for Matt Dawson for making the ultimate sacrifice, an amputation of part of your body to continue to play in the Olympics. Although in the bigger picture, there are athletes taking huger risks. Many of them give up their brain cells to participate in certain sports. As you know, CTE is very real and very sad. I have to say, though, if you amputate part of your body to play in the Olympics, you better make it past the first round, man. You don't want to be eliminated right away and you've lost a body part to be there. An unseasoned chicken led to a brawl with bug spray knives, and fists. This story is out of South Carolina. A fight with Raid bug spray, fists, and a blade all began with some unseasoned chicken, according to a police report. Deputies in Georgetown County, South Carolina, say they were called to a home where a fight was ongoing. One of the people involved, named Hope Harper, told investigators that Anthony Harper began assaulting them because they asked him, quote, why he didn't season the chicken that was cooking so it could crust up. Now, of course, this is a legitimate question when you're about to sit down and have a chicken dinner. If you see someone cooking it without the seasoning, that's cause for concern. You must season a chicken. I mean, who eats an unseasoned chicken? Okay, so he asks, why didn't they season the chicken? They replied, quote, or someone replied, I know how to cook, and Grammy was going to season the chicken anyway. Hope Harper then called Anthony Harper a dumb dog, quote, a dumb dog. And that's when he pushed her into the kitchen table and began punching her in the face. Well, this guy's got a short fuse. Now, look, I don't want to make assumptions. Maybe dumb dog is his trigger word. You know, we're dealing with the backwoods of South Carolina. Perhaps this man was chained to a tree as a child and called a dumb dog. And now this triggers him and he goes nuts. He's like, how about that chicken? When's it ready? They're like, you can wait, dumb dog. And then boom, punch is thrown. After the fight broke up, Hope Harper began chasing Anthony Harper through the house with a steak knife. Okay, so she's got the knife involved. The grandmother then comes out of her bedroom with the broom. So grandma lives there too. Everybody's living there. You know, this is South Carolina. Very close to Florida. Grandma comes out of her room with a broom. That was her weapon of choice. She chases Hope Harper away from Anthony Harper, trying to just break it up with the broom. Now, there's, of course, some retaliation involved. Anthony Harper grabbed a can of Raid. That's a brand of bug spray that we have here in the States. Maybe you have it where you are. It's called Raid. He sprayed her in the face and the neck. It doesn't say who. I'm going to assume it was Hope. He sprayed Hope in the face and neck with Raid. You don't want to be blasted in the face with Raid. You certainly do not. It's going to definitely cause a skin rash and maybe nausea. She got the can from him. So she rips the can out of Anthony's hand and sprays him all over his body with the Raid. Now, at this point, I'm wondering, where can I watch this TV series? What network is this on? I would watch this every week, man. Both of these people are arrested and released on bond and were charged with assault and battery. Now, both the people, meaning Anthony and Hope, I guess the grandma didn't have to do any time on this one. Her weapon was a little more mild, just the broom. Had she gotten involved with any of the Raid sprays, I'm sure she would have been in some trouble. Anyways, all of this foul behavior has led to some jail time for Hope and Anthony, but I'll bet their makeup sex is quite insane. This is a brother and a sister, dude. I'll say it again. I'll bet their makeup sex is going to be quite intense. I'm a fan, yes I am, and I can't help but love weird news. Oh, no. Try to slip in weird news, like really fast in there. That was a tough one. What's up, my friends? How you doing? The weekend is nigh. N-I-G-H. I think that means like close. That's old school. I like to whip out the old school, like Fortnite. Yeah, I like to use that. Just use Fortnite sometimes, man. People dig that. They'll be like, oh, Fortnite, huh? Oh, somebody's educated. What do you like to read? Yeah, I'm into history. Fortnite. And then I say, ye. Where will ye be in a fortnight? Okay, I'm highly caffeinated and out of my mind, thankfully. Shout out to my patrons for keeping me caffeinated. Shout out to the people buying me coffees to keep me caffeinated. I'm doing a combo platter today of cold brew and a dash of Vietnamese iced coffee mixed together. Woo! Yeah, man, high-end. That's some high-end stuff right there. You don't want to mess with that. You got to know what you're doing, guys. I know what I'm doing. I'm like a coffee alchemist in my kitchen. What's it going to be today, man? Let's give a shout out here to Roman from Dallas-Fort Worth area. Roman, who I have met several times, big fan of Weird AF News, huge supporter of Weird AF News and Jonesy. Been a listener for a very long time. Finally joined the Patreon, so we want to give a shout out to Roman. Roman is a hardworking man and has decided to use some of his money to support Weird AF News and Jonesy. So we want to let him know how appreciative we are. Not only did he join the Patreon, but then he bought me Listen to this. He goes to the website and buys coffee off the website just to write a little note to me. And he writes, Jonesy, after all these years, helicopters, trains, and roofers, I've finally joined the Patreon, buddy. I'm looking forward to enjoying the exclusive content. I can't believe it took me so long. I'm still listening to the podcast via YouTube since Google Podcasts was canceled, and I'm too stubborn to download Spotify. Enjoy these ducats, and here's to the years, episodes, and laughs to come. Cheers. Cheers to Roman from Dallas, Fort Worth. I will be in Dallas, Fort Worth in October. I have let Roman know about this, and so we'll be linking up again, I hope. And if you guys are in the area, I'll be there from the dates October 17th to the 20th, I believe, right? 17, 18, 19, 20, 4 nights. Yeah, Thursday through Sunday. So if you're in that area, I'll be at TK's Comedy Club in Addison. So yeah, come and hang out and meet me and meet Roman. We will be there. Someone else bought me coffee too, and let's see who it is. Okay, it's Abby. Abby and I have just had an exchange on Instagram, and Abby's from the UK, so I want to give a shout out to Abby. I was thanking her for the coffee, and she wrote me a nice little note. She wrote, "Keep it being weird, Jonesy, because it's hard being normal. Lots of love from Telford, UK." She's right though. Keep being weird. It's hard being normal. I've always found it hard to be normal, honestly. I try to work a normal job, have a normal career, can't do it. I've tried to have normal relationships. I struggle with this as well. I fall short in the department of normal. But hey, there's a place for weirdos like me, you know? Look at this podcast is like was sort of like kind of my destiny, right? Yeah. You don't get what you want, you get what you need, guys. This is perfect, right? So big shout out to Abby from Telford. And a shout out to Roman as well from Dallas. If you guys want to support the show by buying me a coffee or joining the Patreon, just go to weirdafnews.com, and on the homepage you can do those things. It's very, very easy. Or if you just want to join Patreon on your smartphone, you can download, there's a Patreon app on there, and then you can just do a search for Weird AF News. There's extra content, extra bonus weird content that I put into the Patreon. That's kind of what makes that special. But some people don't have time, or they're not interested in any more of me. Like, this podcast is enough 5 days a week. And so I get that. So you can make like a donation on PayPal, or just buy me a coffee on the website like that if that's easier for you. Of course, a lot of us are suffering right now. The high cost of such things as groceries. And you can't make any donations whatsoever. And that's okay too. Just tell a friend over the weekend. That's all I ask. It doesn't cost you anything. I was working on this new joke about the how expensive groceries are, and how expensive just essentials are, and therefore when I see looting, I don't condone looting, but I understand. That's kind of the crux of the joke. It's a little edgy. People are kind of, I'm trying to massage it into being, but you know, it's there's something to be said about the state of affairs right now when it comes to groceries and life's essentials. Like, why does it have to be so expensive? I returned strawberries last week. Not a box of strawberries, like 4 strawberries. I'm like, look at this. I want my $2, man. This wasn't cheap. Produce is so expensive. You got to return it, man. Just don't take that. If you get home and that avocado's brown in the middle, you bring that back. All right. You don't eat that cost. Not in 2024, man. We're returning produce in 2024. Who's with me? I feel like the Che Guevara of groceries. Returning in the name of... Yeah, the Rage Against the Machine. Where was I? I'm in the outro. I didn't know where I was. I'm recording the podcast, but I didn't know where I was. Okay, let's due diligence. We're over. It's over. Tomorrow's Friday, Florida Friday. If you want to send me Florida stories, it's funnyjones@gmail.com, or you can slip them into my Instagram what am I, from Chicago? @funnyjones as well. So we'll do a Florida Friday episode tomorrow, and I'll let you go. Good luck with your life, man.